All right, folks, I told you September would be something to remember, baby, and it's already starting off very explosive. We got the Epstein victims speaking out right now. We're basically, essentially at war with Venezuela. We just destroyed a boat carrying drugs with 11 narco terrorists on the boat. We're going to be live streaming a little bit of the Epstein survivors speak out on Capitol Hill, give you a little bit of visual. We'll tune in, we'll tune out every now and then. I got Jerome Corsi. I mean, folks, this is a big guess. He's the expert on basically on everything that used to be conspiracy that has now been proven right. Can't get any better than a guess than this. Folks, I'm knocking him out of the park with this one. Jerome Corsi will be on in just a few moments. We got the Texas National Guard prepping for Chicago. Some big stories, folks. They're all taking place right now. So, folks, please hit the notification button. You can Venmo me D-Rod 1977 D-Rod 1977. You appreciate me, I appreciate you. Also, folks, when the lights go out on Amazon, please leave an honest review. And then my mama's book, The Mexican Mix, on Amazon as well. Both of us wrote these books. We did not have a ghostwriter. So thank you so much. And folks, get your noble gold. No time like now than to get gold. I'm telling you that right now. While you're distracted by headlines, the insiders are getting ready. Billions, billionaires, big banks, even foreign governments are hoarding gold. They know the dollar's being devalued. They know the next crash is coming. So why don't you own what you're buying? Why don't you own what they're buying? Sorry, folks, I'm getting better at these things. Noble Gold Investments makes it simple to protect yourself with the same investment-grade gold and silver. The elites are stockpiling real assets you can hold in your hand and keep safe in your retirement account. This is what's going to count. This is what's going to matter the most, the gold and silver, folks. Don't wait until it's too late. Start now. Visit noblegoldinvestments.com today, noblegoldinvestments.com. Get started on it, folks, and be safe. Be able to sleep at night. X is Nino Boxer, patriotwear.com. Patriotwear.com. I got some new stuff up there. Tell me if you like it. Stroll around the store. Take a gander. Also, folks, 50% off everything right now on ninoscorner.tv. 50% off. I'm extending the Labor Day sale just a little bit longer. I'm going to have Jerome Corsi after this broadcast go on ninoscorner.tv. We're going to cover more of the stuff going on with the fraud. And got to be kind of careful on FluffTube with that stuff. So we're going to do a big segment on ninoscorner.tv discussing the companies involved with the fraud, the Democrats, the whole thing. Folks, everything's breaking out right now. It's all breaking out right now. And September is going to be a month to remember, baby. I got Joshua Reed up right now. I got a doubleheader with 107. I got Jerome Corsi coming up next. I got 3-Eye Atlas with Kerry Cassidy and a former NASA scientist coming on very soon, and Richard Hoagland. So that's coming on Friday. That's going to be a big one. A lot of people are talking about this 3-Eye Atlas. I mean, it's all the news right now, and it's going to be more and more as it approaches Earth or in our solar system. What is this thing? Nothing adds up. It doesn't even add up to a comet. So it's being watched. It's being looked at. I'll see what Jerome Corsi knows about this comet as well. All right, folks. I also have L.A. Marzulli going to be joining us very soon by Saturday. So ninoscorner.tv right now, everything's 50% off. Get over there right now, 50% off all products. I'm crazy for doing this, folks. All right, folks, you might want to turn it down and turn it up. I know. Oh, David, you're beyond this now. You don't have to do it no more. You don't have to do this anymore. You don't have to yell anymore. Well, I'm giving you a chance to turn it down, baby. You can turn it down. So turn it up or turn it down, folks, and here we go. Coming at you live from the apocalypse, folks. Oh, yeah. Let's go. All right. September erupts and booms have begun. Cartel warfare kicks off with a military strike killing 11, count them, 11 narco terrorists. Complete annihilation. Now, I said cartel war is going to pick up. I'm on the border. I see what's happening. I see the armored vehicles in place. I see the military everywhere. And, okay, sure, that's going to deter immigrants. But it looks more like we're getting ready to play some kind of offense. But it's going to be complete annihilation. I'm going to get Jerome Corsi's view on this as he gets on. So is the blood going to spill into the American streets? I've witnessed the Ciudad Juarez cartel wars live. I live here, and I'll tell you this, folks, they have no mercy on anybody, and they will go after civilians. So that's my stance on all this. How bad is this going to get? Is the blood going to go into the streets of America? And the dark side fires back, folks. Don't think they're going to withhold anything. So the deep state lawfare delivers massive blows to Trump and MAGA crowd. So far, 3 really big moves that I've seen that are worth noting, developing, or that have already happened. Trump can't use the National Guard in California to enforce laws, make arrests. Judge rules. Number 2, House committee withdraws Robert Mueller subpoena. He has Parkinson's. Oh, boy. Tariffs suffered legal setback. The legal fight over U.S. President Donald Trump's global tariffs is deepening after a federal appeal court ruled the levies were issued illegally, emergency law, extending the chaos in global trade. Folks, think about what Trump is doing right now. Just think about what he's doing right now by deploying the National Guard to 19 states, a ban on no cash bail, a ban on flag burning, and surrounding Venezuela with a $50 million bounty on Maduro's head. He's getting ready. And he's getting ready for something really big, a big event. And the walls are all closing in on these people, and soon it'll be crumbling. All of their realities will be crumbling in. Joshua Reed believes, Joshua Reed that came on my show, he says, he believes the first couple arrests will be James Comey and John Brennan. And that would probably happen before September 11th. I don't know. I'll get Jerome Corsi's view on that. And obviously, we know who's rumored to follow in October. Right? We all know who's the big fish that's supposed to go down in October. Could it be this October? It sure does seem like that's where we're headed, folks. Maduro vows to declare a republic in arms if U.S. forces in the Caribbean attack Venezuela. I don't even know what the hell that means. But Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro on Monday said he would constitutionally declare a republic in arms if the South American country were attacked by forces that the United States government has deployed to the Caribbean. Maduro claimed 8 U.S. military vessels with 1,200 missiles were targeting his country, calling them the greatest threat that has been seen on our continent in the last 100 years. Really? What about the threat of all the fentanyl coming into America and killing hundreds and thousands of people a year? That's a bigger threat. That, to me, is the declaration of war right there. His comments during a news conference come as the U.S. government this week is set to boost its maritime force in the waters of Venezuela to combat threats from Latin American drug cartels. The U.S. has not signaled any planned land incursion by the thousands of personnel being deployed. Still, Maduro government has responded by deploying its own troops along its coast and border with neighboring Colombia, as well as urging Venezuelans to enlist in the civilian militia. Are you kidding me? So this is going to pop off. Is it going to be another Vietnam? Doubtful. The strategic strikes with drones and Trump being president, they have no chance, folks. No chance at all. Texas National Guard preps for Chicago deployment as Fed stage in north suburbs, Governor Pritzker says. So Chicago, it's unclear exactly when the National Guard and more ICE agents will be deployed in Chicago, but leaders are gearing up. Governor J.B. Pritzker and President Donald Trump is positioning armed federal agents and military vehicles at Naval Station Great Lakes in North Chicago. The government said the Texas National Guard is preparing for a Chicago deployment, and they're worried. They should be. I'm telling you, folks, all the chess pieces are being put in order right now for the big takedown is what I got to say. And we're going to bring Jerome Corsi on right now. Jerome, are you there?
Here, ready to go. All set.
All right. You waited for me to do my big spill. Jerome, I appreciate you coming on, man. Thank you so much.
Always a pleasure. I really enjoy being on the show. Thank you.
Thank you. So what are we looking at here? September looks like it's already starting off explosive.
Yeah, we've got a big month already starting. I mean, this Epstein press conference is going to be explosive. because you've now got the victims speaking out. The Epstein case is not going away. And there's actually an article out, some really pretty good writing from what's in this case is being revealed. We've got, let me just pull up the case right here. Representative Anna Paulina Luna. There's a story breaking that she is saying that there's over 33,000 documents, a lot of names. We've already heard that Bill Clinton is in these files. That's very clear. And they're going to follow the money trail. What Anna Paulina is saying is that this is a well-orchestrated operation with many tentacles, including shell companies and money laundering. So you're going to see things like Deutsche Bank funneling money, moving money around internationally. And what we're going to find out that the Epstein operation was an international trafficking network. And all members of Congress who are present are going to have to see this testimony coming down. It's involving trafficking women from Slavic nations. There's immigration fraud. There's money laundering. There are foreign governments involved. There's top U.S. politicians and celebrities involved. There's blackmail. This is going to be a juicy story, and it's not going to go.
So the whole thing with Dan Bongino and Cash Patel coming out saying no Epstein list, and then Elon Musk claiming that Trump is in the files, all of this is going to put that to rest, correct? This is all coming out now.
I don't know why Pam Bondi was doing what she did, trying to diminish the story. But the point is, it's not going to be diminished. And Dan Bongino was about ready to quit. We're getting these documents because Dan Bongino won the argument. And President Trump went along with Dan Bongino and said, okay, release the evidence. And now we're getting it. And
so that's kind of a behind the scenes knowledge right there.
Yeah, that's behind the scenes. I mean, I know the people involved, and Dan Bongino wasn't going to put up with it. He was ready to resign. When Dan Bongino threatened to resign, the Trump administration couldn't take that hit right at that time. And Pam Bondi.
Wow, so Dan Bongino gets the big win here.
Dan Bongino gets a big win here, and Cash Patel's gone along with him. Cash Patel supported Dan Bongino, and Tulsi Gabbard is the one really pushing the narrative right now. Tulsi Gabbard behind the scenes is the real powerhouse.
So they're not waiting anymore, right, Jerome? Now we're going in for the kill. It looks like Trump smells the blood, and he's going in for the kill. And what are we going to see? Everything happen now at once, like boom, boom, boom. Because there was a big truth social post that Trump put out that a lot of people are making a big deal of, and it was "good night" in capital letters with exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point, and it felt like, all right, it's in other words, good night, we're going in. Is that what that means?
Trump is actually, saying it's now time. There's blood in the water. There's blood in the water on a lot of different fronts. The Epstein case is going to expose a lot of Democrats, going to expose a lot of people in power and positions of power. And it's going to be a nasty scandal involving pedophilia, underage girls, sex trafficking, women from the Slavic nations, money flowing around, foreign governments involved. You're going to see this to be one of the major scandals, maybe in American history.
Couldn't that pull the plug on the financial system? I mean, all these big dogs going down, CEOs, rich families. I mean, are they all looking at going down at the same time? And then what will that do for the economy?
Well, the economy, I think, will be okay. I think we need this. It's going to be throwing, disinfectant light of truth on the pedophilia, which has been rampant among the, upper classes of society, Hollywood, Silicon Valley. This is New York City, elites all over the world involved in pedophilia and child sex trafficking. That's coming out. And our government's involvement in it, and our government's working with Epstein, foreign governments working with Epstein. You're going to see Mossad's involvement. You're going to see all kinds of, intelligence agencies compromising.
And this is all coming out right now.
Right now.
I mean, this kind of came out under the radar. I didn't even, forgive me, folks, but I didn't even know they were having a press conference today with the victims. I've been so busy with other things, watching the developments with Venezuela, Maduro. Let's talk about that for a second. Let's put this Epstein stuff on the back burner just for a second, and let's talk about what's happening in Venezuela. I mean, it looks like Trump is basically going to war on all fronts here.
Well, yes, Trump's going after Venezuela for a variety of reasons. If you know, the backstory of that is that during this judge Boatsam or whatever his name was, the judge who was in the Smokey Daniels case, wanted to imprison Donald Trump. If you remember, they were going to go to convict him and then imprison him. The idea was once he got in there, they've got the Venezuelan gangs, deep six him, kill him.
Right.
It's like they killed Epstein. That jail, by the way, that they have Epstein died in, the backstory there is it's got a lot of tunnels and secret trap doors in those cells.
Really? So he could have just.
Well,
But I mean,
that jail was used back in the the 30s, back in the days when the mafia were being arrested in New York City, and of course they had ways of getting the mafia out, make sure they had nice dinners and played poker and drank all evening, and put them back in the cell. These jails in New York are rigged for silent running. I mean,
wow. So that's where Jeffrey was at.
Yeah, I mean, no, it wouldn't have been hard to open the doors, trap door, pull Epstein out, take him to another room, hang him, and put him back. That's
interesting.
And the missing moments on the tape. I mean, we've got a few missing moments on the tape, and
minutes.
Yeah, I mean, and nobody was around to watch it. I mean, come on, this is a joke. And Pam Bondi's going to insist upon there was nothing here. Pam Bondi ought to go back to Florida and cozy up to to her friends in Florida. But
don't you think she's kind of doing what Trump orders her to do? I mean, that's kind of why he placed her in there, right?
I think she's coming around now because I think she got the truth. She got words of one syllable explained to her. And Tulsi Gabbard is really driving behind this as Director of National Intelligence, and Dan Bongino pushed the envelope. I give Dan Bongino a lot of credit because now when this Epstein stuff comes out, I think it's going to be earth shaking in a lot of different ways. The American public's going to have to realize how much this pedophilia corruption has penetrated even the top levels of the U.S. government. You're going to find Obama involved in it. You're going to find,
Bill Clinton just got named.
Clinton got named.
Oh, and plus Hollywood, right? Hollywood and the celebrities. Do you think they're kind of shaking in their boots right now?
Sure. I mean, also Silicon Valley, all the celebrity classes.
Go ahead and keep that up there, Alex. Go ahead and keep that up there just so people can.
Well, when you've got this press conference being held right outside of the, Capitol, and you've got the victims there, the victims are wanting to talk now. Victims are wanting to tell you what happened to them. I mean, this is not, you don't sexually abuse people and have them forget about it.
Right.
This ruins their lives. And so therefore, I think we better, belt up and get ready for this because it's going to be shocking.
So it's going to be a lot of us have already been looking into it. We all kind of know the names that are on there. We know who the suspects are. We know the horrible and terrible things done on that island, and also in the I guess you could say the tunnels under the island. I mean, the whole thing, the submarines, everything. A lot of us have been following this. But do you think that's all going to be mainstream now? Everything that we know that had happened behind the scenes?
I think it's going to be out in the public where the mainstream media covers it. The mainstream media is worthless right now. I mean, they're not covering anything of any substance. But this, with the internet and with the broadcasting of this live streaming of this press conference, there are going to be millions of people who are aware of it. And where it's going to end up is I think you're going to find that the royal family in Great Britain is ruined. They're done. When you find out the pedophilia, the rampant, and the homosexuality rampant at the highest levels of the British government, I don't think the crown is going to survive this. And it's going to involve a lot of, Prince Andrew and others involved. And we have already got pictures of their involvement. Now we're going to get to the real truth of what was going on. And it's not savory. This stuff is, the abuse of the grooming, the stealing of children, the grooming of young adults to go along with this, and the sexual abuse that they were suffering as a result of this, psychological damage. So these people are now getting a chance to come on stage and tell you what happened to them.
And this is all coming at a time when Trump is deploying the National Guard in 19 states. It's like he just did a ban on no cash bail, a ban on flag burning. What do you see coming this fall, Jerome? What do you see kind of playing out here as he's making these preemptive moves?
Well, Trump is setting the stage for making sure that the Democrats cannot pull another 2020, where they can't have more George Floyds and, say it was the Republicans and guns that's causing the problem in the city, blame it on the red states. Trump is not going to put up with any more of the Antifa and Black Lives Matters painting streets and burning down cities. He's saying the troops are going in, National Guard are going in. If he has to use the Insurrection Act, he's now got Pete Hegseth in there in the Department of Defense, and there'll be no question about deploying.
So, can you confirm that he has not signed the instant? A lot of people say that he signed it in 2020. No. I was told different. I was told he was not. He did not sign it.
He did not sign the Insurrection Act because at that time, if you remember, you had General Kelly, who was even chief of staff, saying, and Milley, who was General Milley, who was chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, saying that they felt Black Lives Matter had a legitimate right to protest, and the FBI was filmed taking a knee to Black Lives Matter.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so our Justice Department turned a blind eye to the fact that, if you remember 2020, Washington was being burned down. St. John's Episcopal Church right across from the White House in Lafayette Square, where virtually every president since George Washington has been, that they were trying to burn that down. The protesters were trying to burn it down. And when Trump walked out with a Bible in front of the St. James Church and said, "We got to save this church," the mainstream media lost their mind, accusing Trump of causing a riot. Okay, and the mainstream media went with that story. Well, Trump isn't putting up with that crap anymore. Now it's going to be a situation where Chicago better face it. Chicago's got more crime. It's an unruly city. Got homeless everywhere. You've got roving mobs destroying downtown.
Don't you think? Not only, I mean, it's obviously, so if they protested for George Floyd, what do you think they're going to do for Hillary or Obama? Right? That's what he's getting ready for.
He's getting ready. If they want to pull this stunt, if the left thinks all they have to do is with their false flags. And by the way, I've been covering this story. If you go to my website and gods5stones.com and see the evidence we've got out there, the corruption, the Act Blue with billions of dollars and magic money laundering.
Allegedly on that. This is fluffy, but we are going to cover this on.
We'll cover all this, but the point is the corruption is coming out all over the place. You've got Tulsi Gabbard releasing information on Obama, which makes it absolutely clear that the entire Russian collusion case was fabricated and that Obama knew it was fabricated. The intelligence community was doing reports prior to the election saying Russia was not involved in the election, and if they were, they favored Hillary because Russia had a lot of dirt on Hillary they were ready to drop. Tulsi Gabbard's made that abundantly clear in press releases she's given. And the fact is, Russia knew that Hillary had this one lens in her glass that was preventing epileptic fits and that she was taking heavy medications. And Russia was going to drop all that on Hillary Clinton once she was elected. So, but at the same time, when Trump won the election, Hillary was out there with the fabrication that Russia stole the Democratic National Committee emails, and Trump had been compromised by the Steele dossier with, Putin owned Trump. Trump was an agent of Putin with the Golden Peace stories and all the things that they were alleging that Trump had done, all fabrication. The FBI and the Department of Justice knew it was fabrication. Now, Tulsi Gabbard's made that abundantly clear. And so therefore you've got people like Brennan and Clapper, former head of the Director of National Intelligence, Brennan, head of the CIA during Obama. They're all now lawyering up because they know.
Do you think we could see an arrest with Comey or Brennan this month?
I don't know about this month, but I think it's in the works. I think
there'll be some big arrests this fall?
I think there's going to be some big arrests. The timing of it depends upon how much they want the wheels to grind between backstage while they're getting lined up all the people they want to indict. I mean, this is a process that's going on right now. I'm sure there's a grand jury convened, and people are being noticed to appear before the grand jury. I'm sure that the investigation is going on of the Obama corruption. Trump came in and he insisted that these investigations happen. Trump is really
And Trump's name will be cleared on the Epstein files, correct?
Oh, well, if there was any doubt, if there was any dirt in the Epstein files on Donald Trump, that would have been released years ago. That would have been the first thing the mainstream media went after. I mean, I've known Donald Trump for 45 years. Donald Trump's preference in women is for adult, glamorous women who are model quality.
Right,
which is certainly
right. He's not going after little kids.
He's not going for little kids. That's not. I've known Donald Trump for 45 years, and Donald Trump's preference in women is abundantly clear. And it is not. It is not
a man after my own heart.
Yeah, Donald Trump understands women, and he has very good taste in women. And
Yes, he does.
They're all adult women. You know, these
so
are.
Let me ask you. Let me get some. Let me hit some articles here and get your thoughts on them. So Robert Mueller, the House committee withdraws Robert Mueller's subpoena. A House committee investigating the Justice Department's handling of the Jeffrey Epstein sex trafficking case has withdrawn a subpoena to former FBI Director Robert Mueller, citing the state of his health. I mean, this is, come on. I mean, we know what this is, right?
Michael J. Fox has had, Parkinson's disease for a long time, and he's still doing movies. I mean,
right? Yes.
Get the right medications, and of course they'd be available to Robert Mueller. He could function. The fact is that this is an excuse for him not to be again exposed for what he is, which is a deep state actor and a deep state, sycophant. He's really just a deep state. This whole deal that he, over health issues, he can't testify is nonsense. He could certainly testify. He could receive the medications he needs. Parkinson's is not incapacitating. His mind could continue to function. By the time they're going to have Mueller's going to be Parkinson's and maybe mental senior dementia, one kind or another. They're going to do everything they can to keep Mueller in the closet, because Mueller knows too much. Mueller was too much of a fix-it guy. He was too much.
But I mean, what about all the people that are the whistleblowers behind the scenes right now? I've heard there's quite a few that are getting ready to testify and they're getting ready to throw under the bus. Are we going to see people? I can't say the word on YouTube just to let you know, but self-delete. Are they going to self-delete and homicides? And
there's going to be some of that probably. But the point is, even I was, they came after me with the Mueller investigation and wanted to put me in prison because they thought I had a tie to Julian Assange, which I didn't. And they said, we'll say you lied and you're going to go before a jury in Washington and they'll put you in prison the rest of your life. Or you take this plea deal and you can say you had a tie to Julian Assange, which was the Russian collusion last link to Roger Stone. I had figured out that Assange had possessed his emails, and I told that to Roger Stone, and they didn't have a source. So I refused to take their plea deal. I told them to get ready to put me in jail the rest of my life, but I could not imagine swearing to a lie before a judge and God to keep myself out of prison. I preferred to go to prison. And Donald Trump knows that. I've had conversations with Rudy Giuliani. Donald Trump knows that if I had taken that plea deal, they would have made their Russian collusion case.
Wow. So that was really, a lot of it was contingent on you. If you would have accepted that.
If I had done that, they would have had made their case. And so what is, because I held firm and said, I'll go to prison. Donald Trump understands, and he's acknowledged it. Rudy Giuliani's acknowledged. I had meetings with Rudy Giuliani in the Harbor Club in New York. We talked about.
How is Rudy Giuliani right now? I heard he just got in a car accident.
Well, he did. He got in a car accident, which is, again, suspicious. I don't think it was an attempt to kill him, but I do think he was nearly killed. And Donald Trump acknowledged that by saying that he would give him now the Medal of Freedom, which is one of the top awards the United States government can give to a civilian. And this Freedom Award that Donald Trump is going to give to Rudy Giuliani is sincerely deserved. Giuliani is truly an American hero. And not only for what he did for New York, but the way he stood up for Donald Trump in the impeachment cases, the way he stood up for Donald Trump through all of the Russian collusion, the abuse he took, the lawsuits he suffered. I mean, Rudy Giuliani is a hero as far as I'm concerned. And
wow. So do you think, that's good to hear that. So he is pulling through.
He's pulling through. He was released from the hospital yesterday. And so That's good.
It sounded like a hit to me, to be quite honest. It just sounded so suspect.
Well, it sounds like it, but when you look at the woman, we look at the woman who's involved in that car accident, she doesn't look to me like it looks to me like it was an accident
Okay.
but the point is, it still has to be investigated. There are no accidents. There are no coincidences. When Rudy Giuliani's hit from behind by a car speeding up, you got to ask questions.
100%. 100%. So
know.
let's keep moving here. So Trump can't use the National Guard in California to enforce laws and make arrests. A judge has ruled. A federal judge Tuesday barred President Donald Trump from deploying National Guard troops in California to execute law enforcement actions there, including making arrests, searching locations, and crowd control. The ruling came in connection with a lawsuit by the state of California challenging Trump's deployment of the Guard to deal with protests in Los Angeles over the Trump administration's immigration enforcement policies. Judge Charles Breyer said that Trump's deployment of the troops violated the federal Posse Comitatus Act. What can we expect to see here? Because California, we know, is it's planning to be a war zone.
Well, the fact is, a lot of these judges are Obama judges or holdovers from previous administrations that hate Trump, and they're going to do everything they can to block his agenda. Okay, now when this gets to a higher court, either to the circuit courts or it gets into the Supreme Court, Donald Trump has full authority to deploy the National Guard where he sees it necessary. And that's been done repeatedly over and over again in American history. The point is also Donald Trump could use the Insurrection Act. Donald Trump, as commander-in-chief, has the ultimate responsibility for making sure the United States is secure. And if the United States is not secure because Democratic governors are releasing criminals, because you've got Soros prosecutors who don't care what heinous crime somebody's committed. They want them free on bail without having to pay a penny.
And that's what the no cash ban, right? The no cash bail ban.
Right. And so Donald Trump is now using the powers that he has to make sure that if the Democrats can't defend the cities, he's going to do so. Now, that's going to be enormously popular with the vast majority of voters. And it's going to put the Democrats in a corner where they're going to have to support criminals. Say, oh, no, we love the criminals. We want the home. We don't want to do anything for it. We don't care if our cities are burning.
And also what he's doing too, what he did in D.C. was he moved all the homeless out and then put them in encampments. A lot of people have said that just white vans were pulling up, grabbing homeless off the street, which there's some videos circling around the internet showing that. But, I mean, they're not being, as far as you know, they're not being mistreated or anything like that, right? They're being taken to encampments.
They're being treated humanely. I mean, these are people living in the street, dealing drugs, defecating in the streets, creating a public hazard. The streets are not meant to have tent cities. And going back into the Depression, when there were tent cities in Washington, and FDR and Hoover were both opposed to it. The Army was called out, and General MacArthur at that time was leading the troops getting the bonus army that wanted their bonuses from World War I cleared out of the parks in Washington, D.C. There's a lot of precedent for this. And the point is, you can't have a city run by the Democrats where crime is permitted, if not encouraged, where law enforcement is standing down, where you have defund the police being the theme, and people living in fear. So, look at California with San Francisco right now. San Francisco is a complete mess. And major Union Square.
I was there, and I went to the Fisherman's Wharf where I fought in 2004, and I wanted to go see it again. And I checked on the GPS, it said permanently closed. I was like, that's weird. So me and my friend went to it, and like a 2-mile radius around that area, homeless everywhere, shooting up, defecating all over the street, having sex in tents. We were right next to this. We pulled up on the red light, and there was a seafood restaurant, and a couple was coming out, a very nice couple, well-dressed, and they're standing on the sidewalk while a homeless guy is taking a shit in front of them. And me and my friend are sitting there laughing. We're like, I can't believe this is reality right now. Like, they were just in a zone. They weren't looking at the guy. They knew he was there, but they're so used to it. They had to like pretend and have small talk. Like somebody's not taking a crap in front of them. It was insanity.
Well, the whole issue of letting the cities deteriorate is also an economic crisis, because look at Union Square. The shops are closed, companies are pulling out. The buildings, downtown buildings, are unoccupied, which means the restaurants close. All the services for the people working in those buildings are suffering, and so the tax base of the city deteriorates. And as it does, the welfare costs increase. I've got all these people living on the streets in complete filth, dangerously stealing from each other in order to buy fentanyl or whatever other drugs they can get a hold of. And the situation is dysfunctional. Once that happens in a city, the city goes to hell. The Democratic mayors don't care.
No, they're all part of this agenda. And what do you think about the Section 8 now ruling where you have to have proof of citizenship? I mean, this is going to get rid of what, 90% of the Section 8 housing?
Well, yes. And again, the whole idea of having illegal immigrants getting all kinds of public benefits and voting and getting driver's licenses, and to have this happen to the middle class of the United States, which will destabilize the country. I mean, the Democrats know the Democrats are doing this in order to destabilize the country.
Correct.
That's their goal.
And they stay in power.
And they say, well, the Democrats are gravitating from being a communist party to being, an anarchist party, or even worse, an anti-American treasonous party. They're actively engaging in destruction. I've written books about this. I wrote a book about, the truth about neo-Marxism, cultural Maoism, and anarchy. We're now in the anarchy stage of the Democratic Party's descent into neo-Marxism and to cultural Maoism. And so you can't have a Muslim who's a socialist running for mayor of New York City.
Mandini, is that who it is?
Mandini. And when you look at Mandini's backers, when you look at who's funding him, it's not average citizens. He's getting big grants from donors who are out there trying to have an agenda. So the Soros money and all the other money, the dark money behind the Democrats, that's who's funding people like Mandini running for mayor. Now, if he gets to be mayor, I mean, the city of New York is going to suffer economically in a dramatic way.
So let me ask you this, Jerome. The U.S. Okay.
Calendar.
1 second.
Mark your calendar. Billy and I want to have a conference with you September 15th at 2:00.
You got it.
Okay.
September 15th, 2:00. Thank you. Sorry about that.
No, not a problem. So U.S. trade allies confused after Trump's tariffs suffer a legal setback. What do you think is going to happen with these tariffs? Obviously, it's an obstacle for now. I think it's going to get cleared. It's going to the Supreme Court. But as of right now, I mean, all these companies are coming back to America because of the tariffs, manufacturing companies and all this. So now is that all halted right now? What's going on with this?
Well, it's halted until it gets to the Supreme Court. Again, the ability of having tariffs is in the Constitution. The Constitution felt that tariffs would be the major way the United States will collect revenue. We don't have an income tax in the Constitution. That's Woodrow Wilson socialism. Okay, there's no income tax. There's no Federal Reserve. There's no national bank. All these things are, socialists going back to 1913. The point is, tariffs are in the Constitution. Trump can impose tariffs, and they're a good idea. They're bringing business back to the United States. They're bringing manufacturing back.
And won't it ultimately take away the IRS and make it the ERS?
Well, I take away the IRS and close it down. I mean, the IRS is stealing money from people. And the IRS being politicized the way it has been politicized, going after people who oppose Obama or who are not on the Democrat socialist agenda, or people who dare to support Donald Trump. I mean, the Democrats just ran this fantasy weekend that Trump was dead. I mean,
I say, that's ridiculous.
Well,
so do you think this gets cleared up in a comfortable window of time here? I mean, how much? I mean, Trump has to work quick on this.
Well, Trump is taking the right steps right now to bring in law and order, to restore the economy of the United States, to make us again a sovereign nation. The America First agenda is solidly supported by the United States public. The Democrats are now verging into being a psychiatrically desperate party. They're embracing, the gender dystropia. They're embracing, filth in the streets. They are not producing jobs. They're not producing. Law and order used to be what Democrats ran on. Now Democrats are running on, the rights of criminals, the rights of Venezuelan gangs to be in the United States, the rights of Maras gangs from El Salvador, tattooed all over the place, violent gangs to have their rights. We're not protecting law-abiding citizens.
It's all about protecting the criminals and the voters.
Yeah, well, protecting the criminals is going to be the worst strategy the Democrats could embrace.
So
I mean,
how far do you think this war with the cartels is going to go? I mean, I see it as just obviously they're going against the United States military. It's going to be a complete annihilation, especially with Trump in charge. He's not going to be scared to pull the trigger on anybody. So
Trump knows that the Venezuelan gangs were being recruited to be the assassins if he went to prison. They were the ones who were going to be in the jobs of killing Trump. And Trump was saying, fine, you want to play that way? I'm going after Venezuela. He's going to put the Navy out there. And yesterday we destroyed one of their drug running boats. That's just the beginning salvo. And Trump is ready to put the U.S. troops down in Mexico and clean out the cartels.
What kind of position is that going to put Claudia Sheinbaum in? I mean, obviously we know who put her in the office. So how is that? That's a unique, a very precarious situation for her, because now there's a tug of war for her mind, body, and soul. And if she doesn't live up to the expectations of the cartels, she's going to be out of there.
She'll worse than that. She'll be probably not she'll be 6 feet under. Is what.
Right. That's my point. So
yeah.
So how does she play ball? She's going to have to play ball with Trump.
Well, you're going to have to do something on the border. First of all, you can't have all this drugs and fentanyl across the border without having banks involved. What are you going to do? Drive around with a trailer truck full of $100 bills to buy your lunch at a taco stand by taking out $100 bills from the back of the semi-trailer? You got to get the money into the bank so you can use a credit card. And the CIA has been running drugs around the world since the days of the OSS. We can't have international drug cartels without the intelligence agencies being involved and the international banks. So you're going to find the international banks were involved in Epstein. Banks' money. I've got a report here from the Justice Department on TD Bank, Toronto Dominion Bank, from 2000, I believe, 14 to 2024. They were not enforcing any money laundering standards.
Jeez.
So 92% of their transactions in that bank, which amounts to something like $10 trillion, were all money laundered because they weren't reporting to the FinCEN reports, and it was a money laundering haven. So I've got a report here saying $10 trillion was unaccounted for in TD Bank.
Wow, $10 trillion?
$10 trillion. And another report here, and these are official government reports, but I could read it to you. I'll pull it out of my file here and read it to you.
Let's do all that on the ninoscorner.tv back channel, but sure. I wanted to jump to the next World War III type of news here. France orders hospitals to ready for World War III and treat hundreds of wounded soldiers per day in less than a year. So they're predicting that there's going to be a World War III in less than a year, and France is getting ready for this. France has put its hospitals on notice, and they're on war footing, ordering them to prepare for the day Europe is plunged into an all-out conflict with Russia. It looks like they're going to try to move forward with this war, right? That's the last step here. I mean, they got the World War III and then aliens coming down the pipe.
Look, first of all, the French are in a desperate situation. The economy in Europe is a disaster. The welfare state is out of control. The green agenda is about bankrupt Europe all around. And so France thinks that if they just get the war industry going, they'll make money. And if they just, keep the war going, they can keep the money laundering that they need going in order to survive. Now, the truth is, the French would be better able to run a transgender parade down the Champs-Élysées than they would be to put an army into Ukraine to fight Russia. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, the French couldn't fight World War II. The Germans went through them. The Nazis went through them like hot knife through butter. And, the French are not going to be able to fight a war. They lost in Vietnam in 1954. They lost all their northern Africa subsequently. The French have not fielded a successful army.
But I mean, don't you believe this is like their last hope here? I mean, they weren't expecting Trump to upend the whole globalist agenda. So now they're like, man, we got to go for World War III, and we got to go for the alien card.
Well, that's certainly World War III. That's for sure. I think the alien card is going to be revealed for a variety of reasons. I think that now the American public is getting ready to understand we've been lied to so much that we might as well hear the truth about the aliens. Might as well hear the truth about a lot of the substances we use as being re-engineered from alien craft that were found.
So do you think this 3-Eye Atlas has anything to do with what's coming with this alien agenda or this alien card the government could play?
I'm not sure about that one, although there is a scientist, I've been reading his books, I just don't remember his name right now, who's been proposing that this is an alien craft that's coming through.
So he's proposing, wow, so he's on board with this. And now more and more people are coming in because I guess the press conference is over with the victims. Alex, is it over yet? Is the press conference over yet?
Yeah, it ended. It actually ended.
Now I'm just seeing a big uptick in the people coming in now, filing in. So, folks, go to God's 5 Stones down below and help Jerome Corsi. He's going through some life events, and he needs some help financially. So if you could donate to this amazing man, this amazing hero, this OG that I'm very honored to have on my show, please donate to him on God's 5 Stones today. So it says there's a little donate button right there. Hit the button and give what you can, folks. Anything's going to help this man. He's going through a lot of it, right, Jerome?
Well, it's also, after I went through everything with Mueller and they wanted to put me in prison, I wouldn't take their plea deal and they did not indict me. Then my wife of 32 years had supported me. Then she decided she wanted me to quit politics. And so she had an affair with the husband of her dead cousin, who I brought to the United States from Argentina in the house. And I've been living with them for 3 years.
It sounds like you need to get out, Jerome. You want to get out of Sancho and hit the night?
The trial is going to be at the end of September. You can see I'm in the lawyer's office now preparing for the trial.
Let's get out together. Let's go have some fun.
Really, I mean, I've had nothing. God's 5 Stones is G-O-D. There's no apostrophe in the S. F-I-V-E. You spell out the word, and Stones is plural. Gods5stones.com. And it supports the investigative work I'm doing, which is quite a lot, and the reporting that we're doing. And also, it's fundamentally keeping us alive. I mean, I've had nothing but expenses here for 3 years. Since 2018, the FBI knocked on my door with a Mueller investigation 3 days before my birthday, which was August 31st. And so I've gone through several hard years here of lies that just about ruined I'm still shadow banned, even on X.
I know, and I'm kind of nervous about this airing. But it is what it is. We're already doing it. Let's get to the next article, can we?
Sure.
And we're going to go to ninoscorner.tv and talk in this in much more depth, folks. Palantir co-founder Peter Thiel. Now, Peter Thiel's creation is J.D. Vance, right? So I want to know why everyone is up J.D. Vance's ass. They love J.D. Vance. Me, I'm not I've not sold on J.D. Vance. Do you think he's going to be the most? Do you think he's going to be Trump's successor? Do you think J.D. Vance? Because Peter Thiel, I just don't know if I trust Peter Thiel. I don't know if I can trust J.D. Vance. I don't believe. Obviously, they're not cut from the same cloth as Donald Trump, right? So, what's your thoughts on Peter Thiel and what's your thoughts on J.D. Vance?
Well, I think first of all, trusting anybody in politics is a bad idea until you know what they do. And Donald Trump now has established a very strong record in the second administration. He's shown himself to be much more sophisticated. J.D. Vance is yet kind of unknown. And Peter Thiel did set that stage. I know Michael Gibbons, who is destined to be, I've met in Cleveland, Ohio, and he runs a very, very successful investment firm. He was running for senator and would have succeeded, except for Peter Thiel's, whole idea of throwing his weight to J.D. Vance, and then J.D. Vance picked by Trump. And of course, again, I have liked what I've seen so far with J.D. Vance. and I want to see more, and we're going to get to see more.
Do you think it's possible Trump can do another term?
No, I don't think Trump wants to do another term. I mean, I know Trump reasonably well. I mean, I've known him for 45 years. I was a VIP guest at the Plaza Hotel when he owned it. I had a career in banking and finance. I still am involved in banking and finance. I mean, I have securities licenses. I created 2 broker dealers and sold them. The point is that, J.D. Vance is going to have some more time for us to know who he really is. Trump, I think, is clearly in command internationally. And Peter Thiel contributed heavily to Trump and has had an influence on Trump. But again, we see even with Elon Musk that there's a limit to how far Trump's going to be controlled by anyone. Trump's his own man right now. I don't think Trump wants another term. Trump and I were born in the same year. He was born, I believe, in June. I was born in August. So we're born 1946.
You guys are tired.
I'm 79 years old and not about to quit. And
Awesome.
Very similar to Trump in that, I feel like I've been doing some of my best work ever now and want to continue doing it. But the point
will you continue this on ninoscorner.tv? I'm going to close out here to read some what the fuck news. And then can I send you a link and we can go on ninoscorner.tv?
I'd love to. I'd be happy to do that. Thank you.
All right, folks, go to the gods5stones.com. Donate to Jerome and help him get back on his feet. He's a patriot. He's a hero. Jerome.
We've got a few super chats here.
Oh, Jerome, you want to answer some super chats?
Yeah, sure. Let's go.
Okay, let's get some super chats. Here we go. Super sticker, thank you, Lucia Robertson. GC2905. Can we renew our General's tent early with a 50% special? No. I don't know. No. I mean, damn, I'm just trying to do everyone a solid here. Go ahead, next one. Beverly Adams. I shared my dad's 2014 deathbed prophetic message with Jerome Corsi in 2018. He then sent me a signed book and asked me to take a pic with it for his collection. Since discussing it with him, the message keeps coming true. Do you remember this, Jerome?
Yes, I remember it, and I'm pleased that the message continues to come true. Let's keep it private. But I did deeply appreciate that communication. I'm very pleased I sent a book, and I God bless, and I send my best wishes.
Okay, beautiful. Kelly Panetsky, super sticker, thank you. Michelle Christians 2451, super sticker, thank you so much. A lot of super stickers today. Perseverance 3-J3G. I'm a 4th generation seer and prophetess. Mid-July, Holy Spirit, early AM said, pray for David's mother. Oh, man. Then was flipped to the left side. Hands went on top of my head. Prayers, tongues flowed 10 minutes, then stopped. Then you said she was better. Wow, thank you so much for those prayers. My mom and I, my family, deeply appreciate it. It's a really rough time for me and my family right now. Thank you. Thank you so much for that prayer. Let freedom ring. Let freedom ring. IH super sticker. Thank you. Rara KQ2CU. Thank you so much. Super sticker. Beverly Adams. Please ask Jerome how he now feels about 17 since he earlier denounced it, but it has all been coming amazingly true and has been guiding us all the way. You got to be kind of vague on this, Jerome, since it's YouTube.
I'm not sure. The letter. I'm not sure what 17 means.
The letter in the alphabet. The movement.
Let's
Trump. Yeah, let's
pass.
I'm not comfortable talking about that on here.
Let's pass.
Cougar player 8 mom. Thank you. So that's it. So Jerome, I'll see you on ninoscorner.tv right now.
Look forward to it. Thank you.
Okay, I'll send you a link right now. And let's close out, folks, with some what the fuck news. In what the fuck news, TikTok influencer and her family found dead, wrapped in plastic inside a pickup truck after cartel-style execution. What? The bodies of a glamorous influencer, her husband, and her 2 children have been found wrapped in plastic and dumped in their pickup truck after they were executed in an apparent cartel hit in Mexico, authorities said. TikToker and singer Esmeralda Ferrer Garibay, 32, husband Roberto Carlos Gil Lecia, 36, son Gael Santiago, 13, and 7-year-old daughter Regina were discovered murdered inside the abandoned gray Ford Ranger in Guadalajara on August 22nd. Prosecutor Alfonso Gutierrez Santillán said during a press conference, using a surveillance video, and investigators traced the route of the truck back to the nearby auto repair shop where they discovered bloodstains, spent bullet casings, and ballistic evidence indicating that the family was likely executed at the site before being driven to another location, Latin Times reports. Damn. So I bet you they were involved in something pretty nasty down there. While the forensic results are not yet in, ballistic and blood evidence also certainly confirmed they were murdered at that location. Prosecutor Gutierrez Santillán said 2 men at the auto repair shop were detained, but later released after the public prosecutor's office found insufficient evidence. In another shocking twist, the pair were kidnapped by armed men minutes after leaving the prosecutor's office. The duo had met up with the 2 acquaintances outside when they were intercepted, and 3 of the 4 were taken, while 1 managed to escape and is still at large, according to Mexican media reports. The attackers lay in wait for the group for more than 2 hours before striking, suggesting a coordinated attack, Prosecutor Bianca Trujillo told reporters. Damn, man. I mean, it's brutal. It's brutal in Mexico. I would say I would not go there if I were you folks. In fact, there's an article here somewhere. Let me find it. Gringos leave. So I'm going to add this in with this. Gringos leave. Protests targeting travelers rise as over-tourism anger grows. Protests against tourism have increased as tourist arrivals to popular destinations surpass pre-pandemic levels. So people are just heading to Mexico, no fucks given. As over-tourism persists, residents' reactions often move from tolerance to complaints to confrontations. Protests don't repel travelers in the long term, but they can pressure governments to act. And, you know, what about cartels? Although this is also a way that cartels make money. So I don't know. But if you're traveling through Mexico, driving, doing anything like that, don't do it. I'm going to tell you that right now. Very dangerous time. And we really don't know what's going to happen. We're in uncharted waters. You really don't know. The temperature is really hot right now. And folks, Mexico is becoming very unstable with the cartels being taken down. They're going to go to desperate measures, very desperate measures. And I'm just telling you that right now. So, folks, that's it for the show. 50% off everything for just another couple days, maybe just a day. I don't know. It's on ninoscorner.tv right now. And, folks, if you enjoyed the show, hit the like button, share, subscribe, all the good stuff. Thank you for tuning in. I'm out of here. Alex.
Nino.
What did you think of the show?
Man, it's
Jerome
disturbing.
brings the heat, man. Jerome knows a lot of stuff.
Yeah, he's a great guest and really tying these things together. And I mean, September is already off to a hot start.
It's a rocket ship, man. It's just blasted off. All right, folks, I'll see you at ninoscorner.tv right now. Thanks, Alex. And the new heavyweight champion of podcasting and the black sheep of